We may just need, ooh, it did.
Oh wow.
Hello. We're not ready.
Nope.
We're not ready.
Hi, but we're coming.
We're in
Yes.
Kenya. Look at the dark. I didn't expect it to actually log in.
Oh wow, it did.
Hello. All my friends
Melissa,
are
our
here.
friend.
Now, Jen, you're on. Say hi.
Hello.
Having a great time in Kenya.
Yeah, we are.
We're gonna get squared away here. Just a minute. I'm gonna hand this to. Yeah, let me with the. Wait, no, I want to see
Flip to your own face.
the most professional quality. It's live right now.
There we are. Look at you
Nice.
guys.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
sit
We'll
close.
squeeze. Okay.
You get really
We'll
close.
squeeze.
We'll sit close.
Yeah.
It is not noon
No.
your time, but as you can see behind
So
us,
Melissa, your head is going to go a little bit more tight to Rochelle, and you cuddle up a little bit.
How about
Rochelle.
this?
Okay.
okay, and
We've
we're.
been super close and squishy.
So the
hands.
great here's the great news. We're in Kenya right now, and
Yeah.
the awesome news for you is that you cannot smell these two
or her.
or me. We have found something new in Kenya that you have not danced. I mean, like truly
danced.
until you've
Danced.
danced
Kenya.
in Kenya and learned some traditional Kenyan
Yes.
dance.
It was so awesome.
It's better than Zumba.
It seriously, and then you do it in the hot sun and the
90
humidity,
degree, yeah.
and it's
And everyone laughing at you.
Yes,
perfect.
and they're laughing at us.
They
'cause
did.
We don't know how to dance.
no, but we'll definitely post video. You'll note that I shot the video, so.
No.
I think I have one that she's in. I can post that one.
Shoot. Okay. So anyway, we do parenting for divine destiny. We actually do have things to talk about today. I think more so than ever, because obviously this whole month of March was talking about missions and service learning and how to help your kids be grateful and live a life that you're proud of the person you created that is contributing to the rest of the world. So we invited our good buddy Mama Melissa on today to talk too, because she brought not one but two of her kids to Kenya. So kind of talk about the buildup of how you even decided, because it while it's a missions trip, it was not a cheap trip. So talk about that.
The most expensive trip. Always been put on my heart to go to Africa. Was petrified of the cost. Angie told me, do not let it affect you. It will work its way out, and it absolutely did. Ryland worked hard for missions money. We were gifted with wonderful donations. And we were able to come, and it's not a vacation. It is a
fun,
vacation,
but it's not.
but it is amazing what's happening here.
Yeah, so I would love Melissa, because Rochelle and I have gone on missions trip for a lot of years. We've done them together, we've done them separately. We are both such firm believers in get your kids out of the country, get them exposure to the world and other cultures, and
Global perspective.
get them serving both locally at home. Missions shouldn't just be a trip you take. It really should be a lifestyle that your family lives. And we wanted to talk with Melissa just even because this is their very first. So it's fun to grab somebody that has never done this before, because we're super convinced of the results and what you see. But talk about it from a family. What has this done for your family, and what are you seeing in your kids that you would love?
I don't even know where to start. It's transforming my kids, my family, our perspective on the world, our perspective on love, compassion, God. Like, he just works in every aspect, and you don't take the time at home sometimes to fully see the impact. But when you come to an amazing place like this, it oozes out of everybody, and it's contagious, and you have this infection you want to spread. Watching my kids blossom. It's like you said it earlier, and it's the exact word I would have used. I mean, Reagan has been the shy girl, and she's the one yelling "Jumba" out the window to as many people as she can to get the response. It's been
I think that's because I actually brought my youngest on the trip with me, and they're at that 7th grade age that sometimes can be a little, they tend to pull back a lot more in that age group and kind of be more observant and stuff. And this, they don't have that opportunity. They have to break through cultural boundaries. They have to put themselves out there. and it has been so fun
watching her as well.
to watch my daughter and watch your daughter, who are not typically go-getters in the
Leaders,
social arena. They kind of like to blend in a lot, and so just even in building confidence in your kids, in doing cross-cultural. They learn when they add value to somebody else's world. You know, we are here with, I should tell you what we're doing. We're actually here with orphans who are school sponsors and one-to-one sponsorships. And so these kids get to go to school, but what we found is that they're so hungry for touch and for love and for the ministry we're working with is literally Jane and Justice Amunga are amazing and are doing phenomenal. Like their school is talked about all throughout the community. Their test scores are so high. So what they're doing is just amazing. But they're still dealing with kids with some significant abandonment issues, and watching these kids interact and engage with our kids has been really powerful. You got anything to say? You're kind of quiet.
I'm listening to you. You talk all the time.
I know.
So you like to steal the show. So,
Although I am going to put video of Rochelle dancing.
Don't you dare.
She gets the Kenyan jerk
No,
down.
I don't.
Yeah, no, she does.
No.
What do you want to say?
I just want to say, every student, every child, every adult, you all should go. I am serious. It will change your life. It's life-changing. You are totally, you're changing your whole perspective, and it does something, it ignites something inside you. It brings out stuff that you didn't even know was inside you, because all of a sudden you're seeing these kids in the world from a whole different eyes. I mean, you're seeing children with nothing.
Yeah.
Who are the most happy, joyful, grateful kids.
Yeah.
And yet we come home and we complain about stupid stuff. And I caught myself, I don't know, I was telling Faith, my roommate, I was telling her, I don't know, I was complaining about the bed or something stupid. I'm like, I just rebuke that. I'm not going to complain like that. I rebuke myself because it was something that was so trivial.
Yeah.
And I think these kids, we look at these children and they're living in shacks and they have holes in their clothes, and it's devastating. And you see little babies carrying their little babies, their baby brothers and sisters, and they just look at you, and it's just like, your heart just.
Matt Ely is on. Matt Ely is in DR right now, and you're seeing us in Kenya right now. How cool
That's
is
awesome.
technology?
Yes.
If you have not followed any of our Valor Missions groups, you can go to Valor Global and then dash Haiti DR to see our good friends in the Dominican Republic. We're super excited about what they're doing. We have kids literally all over the world. We're obviously on Kenya. I didn't mean to. Sorry, I was so excited about that.
She does this to me all the time, and so does Matt Ely. You both interrupt me all the time, but it's okay because I'm pretty patient, and I like you guys.
You're saint-like.
She is. All right. Just don't ask my husband. No, it's really fun.
why
My husband's on this trip too.
Yeah, that's why her husband moved to South Korea.
Yes, he couldn't handle me. That was
kidding.
it. No, but it's been really fun watching their two daughters seriously blossom, and the confidence, and watching them take the lead has been incredible. It's just
Which I might say is one of the reasons you should go on a mission trip
Yeah.
as parents with
Yeah.
your kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's an experience all itself for me, but then to watch mine through my kids, it's brought it to a whole amazing level that you can't put into words.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting to know Amaya Wood, which
Yes.
she's
Oh.
so precious.
She's amazing.
It's been
Amazing.
fun just being with her.
Yeah.
She's one of our online students, and it's been fun watching her, and just what a sweet girl. And then her Aunt Jen, who's filming us.
Who's filming
It's
us.
been, yeah.
Who we showed you
Patera.
earlier.
Yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
all around an
Yeah,
amazing trip.
well, and we haven't even talked about like really the impact
Yeah.
that we are having. Like honestly, our lives are so profoundly touched, and literally we do this every single year, and I have yet to come away from a year going, I needed that. Like I need a vacation. I mean,
And I wish
honestly,
we would do these more.
Yeah.
And,
and it really is cultivating that lifestyle of service, and it enlarges your perspective. And Melissa and I had an interesting conversation earlier today about how abundantly God was speaking to her on this trip.
Yeah.
And I said, why do you think that is, Melissa? And
yeah,
what
that
did you
was
talk
good.
about that?
Yeah.
My experience, what happened?
Yeah. Why
Why
do you feel like God is
can
like,
hear it, yeah.
all of a sudden you're like,
Listen.
here's what
Well,
I need to
woke
do.
up out of a dead sleep at 2 or 12:30 in the morning, and I literally woke up with this letter I was supposed to write to one of the girls in the village. And I kept thinking, I'll do it later, and I literally kept hearing, Dear Carol, and it just kept writing itself in my head. And so I finally grabbed my phone and I wrote it all down. And then I asked Angie if it was okay if I sent it to her.
Yeah, and of course we said whatever God's leading you to do, but we talked about the fact that this slows us down. When you get in the rhythm and routine of life, often service is a secondary thought. And the reality is we should all be a part of something that is much larger than ourselves.
Yeah.
That is how you train and equip
Exactly.
kids that are leading, kids that are influencing. You know, we all talk about the idea of we want kids who are leaders. Well,
Yep.
guess what? Leadership is about being a servant to all. Like
is.
that
That's
is
the number
like
one.
the peak of leadership really starts in serving. So if you want your kids to be leaders, if you want your kids to be influencers, you have to position them in places where they have
Yes.
opportunity
Yes.
to practice and learn that, because those are not natural skills that just come to them. And you know, Melissa and I were talking about the fact that we do have kids that tend to be shyer, and we're watching them on this trip,
Yeah.
going up to other kids and introducing themselves and holding their hands and loving on
It's
them.
so fun.
And then the impact on the girls themselves. I mean, I know, Rochelle, you've had a couple of experiences on this trip with girls.
Yeah, it's a lot of them actually, but some of them, one little girl, she had a heart condition, and Jane asked me to pray for her, and I just put my hand on her heart. I just felt like this is what it's about, and I truly believe, I believe God is going to heal her. I really do, because that's what we were called here to do, and we prayed that God would just work through us and anoint our hands, and when we lay our hands on these kids, that they will be healed. Their brokenness, their physical wounds, whatever it is, that we will make a difference. We will make an impact, and we don't know who is coming across the world to reach these kids, you know. And so to be the hands and feet of Jesus, that is what we need to model for our children, because it's not only for them, but it's for us, and it increases our faith and our boldness. But man, it's life-changing for all of us.
Well, and
you know?
again, it's this opportunity for our kids
Yeah.
to step out and practice in that. We had another young woman on our mission trip that, you know, really is feeling called. She's like, I believe God's put healing in my hands. I believe it. Where do our kids get that to practice that?
Right.
Where do our kids get to step out? And if the answer for you is, I don't know where that happens in my kid's life, then you have to consider how do we shift our life in a way that allows for service, that allows for missional opportunities like this for your kid, because honestly, it transforms culture in such a powerful way. It changes the atmosphere.
It does.
Changes the atmosphere in your relationship with your child. And I'll post these videos later, because I took interviews with our kids today, and talking to them, so many of them were talking about just the simple things like having cold water, which, by the way, this is not, nor has it been all week. You know, like the things that you don't even consider. And
A
say,
toilet seat. Seriously, they're like,
Toilet bowl.
I'm so
Yeah.
thankful for a toilet seat or a toilet bowl.
And there's something profound that happens because they shift from always comparing themselves up, always thinking, I need more, I want more. And I know as parents, we're all sick to death of that constant grab for the next
Yes.
thing. And our country as a whole in the U.S. is so overwhelmed in debt,
Yeah.
in large part because it's that constant
indulgence.
more when you come and you serve, your kids all of a sudden start going,
Yeah.
I don't need anything. Like, not
They
only
do.
do I
They're
need,
like, I
they're
don't need anything. I
it
have
almost
everything
puts
I need.
it puts a distaste
Yeah.
in their mouth for the more, right? And nobody's saying that living in an abundant life, living in a nice home, nobody is suggesting that that's wrong. We all agree.
Yeah.
But there is excess. There is, and there is that constant need and not being able to be satiated for more, especially for our teenagers. And so these are the kind of things that rock them out of their
Yeah.
world, that wake up their thinking.
Yep.
I'm talking a lot.
No, it's good. It's all good.
So-
And it's all true.
You guys. So anyway, this month is all about service. We've talked about it being our favorite.
And you think back of James and John, Jesus' disciples, when they one wanted to ask Jesus if he could sit on his right hand in the kingdom, and one wanted to sit on his left. And Jesus said, "If you want to be great in my kingdom, learn to be the servant of all. Learn to serve, because Jesus did not come to be served, he came to serve. And and he didn't say not to wish for greatness. He didn't even talk about that. He didn't correct that, because there's nothing wrong. We want to bring out the greatness in our kids, and we want them to have that desire. But he told them how to do it. He didn't say not to do it. He said how, and this is how you do it. You want to be great in my kingdom?
good,
You learn to serve. You serve. And when our kids really get that and learn that, their life is different. And whatever you give God, he will multiply it. And so your service will multiply it, whether it's giving financially, whether it's giving in service or time or resources. God, whatever you give him, will multiply it. And that's what Jesus is saying. He's saying, hey, you want to be great? This is how you're to be great.
And you'll reap the blessing in
Absolutely,
your home.
yeah.
What I know is Melissa's going home with most of her family that has been on this trip. The entire home will be profoundly impacted by this. So, and my favorite verse is in Psalms, where God talks about the when you give to the poor and needy, it is like giving a loan to God, and he will be generous in return.
Yes.
You know, the thing is that's certainly not why we give, because honestly, you come, and I think we're all more shaken and impacted by our experience here than what we've done, but we know we've been able to encourage Jane and Justice and their teachers and the work they do to let them know, hey, the world sees you.
Yes.
Like you are not forgotten people. You are loved, chosen, treasured people, and the world sees you.
And James says, true Christianity, true religion is visiting the widows and the orphans, and that word visit in the Greek means caring for them. That's what it means, and that's what we are called to do.
And just one more thing for me is all the things that they're talking about being on the mission trip, I think gives your kids the power and the desire and the drive to want to do more.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
you don't understand
good.
until you experience.
Yeah.
true.
I mean, just watching them, hearing their stories when they come back, hearing their heartbreak for what they've heard, hearing the joy for what a high five did for someone.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, just the simple things.
Yeah, and we literally had a moment on the road today where a little 4-year-old was walking by with the 1-year-old on his hip, and he was babysitting. That was his job. And, you know, literally we had kids weeping and brokenhearted for it, and there's something that happens in the life of our kids when they can experience empathy on that level, when they can experience others on that level, that's really quite powerful. So our heart is, guys, get your kids on missions. If you currently are not in an area or a place where you can do missions group, definitely private message us because we can connect you. We literally have missions opportunities throughout the world right now. Right now, I would tell you, especially for Valor, we have more opportunities to start schools, to get kids educated, than we even know what to do with. The requests coming in at this point, we've had to say, hey, we need to pause and get our feet under us. But here's the deal. Any one of you can be a part of this mission in some way. Any one of you can impact a life and make a huge difference, whether that is at home in your own backyard, because there's plenty of work to be done. We have an entire kindergarten through 8th grade school right now in our hometown doing missions work. We think that's just as important as coming to Kenya. So with that said, if you liked anything you saw, please like us and share us. We, Stinky Girls,
Are gonna shower?
We're gonna take a shower.
We're gonna take a shower. We're all kind of exhausted from our day. It's late at night here, but we didn't get to go on last week because Facebook was crashed.
Having a problem. Yeah.
It was Facebook's problem.
Yes.
It took us an hour to figure out it was Facebook's problem. we're so dumb. Why can't we figure it out? So it was Facebook. Facebook, all your fault. So anyway, thanks for shopping. I'm super tired. Bye, guys.